All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to set up your charts using TC2000 for ultimate easiness, easy use, and success. I'm going to take you step by step. I'm going to take you through the painstaking process of starting with a blank chart and going through everything and how to set yourself up for consistency. I did a couple videos the other 2 days. How did our strategies fare today? I told you that it would be easy to make money using those strategies. Is there a way to do it right? Yes, there is. I'm going to show you how I enter in limit orders to be truly consistent on the strategy. We're going to call it wait for the screw you move. We're going to give you full earnings analysis on Tesla, for a full earnings analysis on Microsoft, Newsbeat earnings analysis, as well as a testimonial, my algo thoughts, rather my algo levels, and my final thoughts. We have a loaded agenda today. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. We have so many great things to talk about today. First, before continuing, I need you to pause on the next slide, read it, and then hit play on this video. Thank you so much for reading it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about, we have a jam-packed agenda here today, and we're going to talk about how to set up your TC2000 for really ultimate success the way I do it, the way I set it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually, instead of just making my life easy through it and just showing you like, yeah, you could see it right there, right? Instead of just, whoops, there we go. Instead of making my life easy and just literally showing you what I already have set up, I'm actually going to click through it with you. I'm actually going to show you how you could use it to make money. And even though I'm not a representative for TC2000, you're most likely going to want to get that charting software. I know. Charting software usually ends up being whatever you're most comfortable in. Slap the like button if you like this sexy shirt. Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about it. We're going to talk about setting up your TC2000 for ultimate success. But first, I really want to get through the other things first because I think setting up the TC2000, we're going to set it up for last. But I'm going to literally show you how to set yourself up to make money in this market. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't get better than that. I'm going to make your life easy, stupid, and simple. Just like I like it. Easy, stupid, and simple. So, what we've been doing is I literally was sharing a strategy with you. I was sharing a strategy with you in the past 2 days, trying to have you make money. I would like to say thank you. The vast majority of people, there was overwhelmingly, the the vast majority of people have been making a lot of money, or at least they're telling me they're making a lot of money. Um, just got an email, somebody made $10,000 in one of our overnights. Anyway, point being is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how our strategies fare today. I have, all right, so I want to show you our earnings list, but there are two earnings lists here, so I just don't want you to get confused. So, oh my God. So here. So these names right over here are the Newsbeat names we took for overnights on our earnings list, including LRCX and Corvo Long. These are the names where you see 50% is a half position short. That was the lowest conviction one on the list. We literally had an overload flood of 9 earnings names. We'll get to some of that. But for the earnings names that reported yesterday or this morning, I was watching them here. That includes Apple, AMD, General Electric. That says Boeing, Xilinx, McDonald's. You see MasterCard crossed out because it was the first 5 minute bar. I'll explain that. And NSC. So I was literally watching these 8 earnings names. So we're going to go over Apple, AMD, General Electric, Boeing, and I'm just going to show you real quick. Yes, that didn't work 100% of the time. It's not supposed to. But I promised you yesterday I would show you how it worked today. And the majority of people, myself very included, was able to do really well on these ideas. right? I'm not going to tell you everything, but by the way, we were buying Apple at the dead bottom here because we called the bottom of the market, and I'm going to show you how we did that too. Apple flushes through the exponential 8, pops. I'm not going to talk about what you could have made, what you could have done. You tell me if it's good for you or not. Maybe it isn't, and I can respect that. We're looking for the first time it tests the yellow and blue line. Here's the blue line, flushes through, pops right away. I made money in this one. Made money in this one right away. Stock popped 60 cents in about a couple minutes. It was like boom, right after 12:30. Easy money. That's Apple. AMD, here's the exponential 8. Goes through a little, and I really mean a little, just a little, plummets. Here's the blue line. Goes through a little, falls a little, and then goes back up. Not the sexiest one on the 21, really beautiful on the 8. But like I said, I'm not cherry picking. I'm not here to show you charts that work and describe what I like to do on charts that work. As I said yesterday, I'm going to show you everything that I did that I was watching today. I wasn't part of every single one of these trades, but I was part of most of the ones that worked. All right, right over here, G flushes the yellow line, pops up 11 cents. Okay, like right away, pops up 11 cents. Not my favorite name. I like to pass on GE, but people in the room told me they were making money on that. I skip GE, by the way, because GE doesn't move. I don't really like trading it much because it's more, even though the options are tight, it's more a common stock name. Like somebody took 40,000 shares of GE and scalped it for a quick nickel. Like doing stuff like that, you want to make a couple grand on a nickel in GE makes sense. You obviously need a little bit of buying power, not crazy amounts, but at least 500,000 plus, right? Nonetheless, hits the blue line right over here for the first time, bounces. See that? Painless. Okay. Boeing. And again, some might work, some might. You might look and say, Mark, that doesn't work for me. Boeing flushes through the exponential lane. These are all earnings names that either reported this morning or yesterday night. The yellow is the 8, the blue is the 21. These are the two strategies we showed you yesterday. It's a 5-minute chart, right? Flushes right here. Pop. Stay tuned because I'm going to show you how you could catch all these names. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to change your life as a trader. And just so we're clear, inside the description, we have fellow contributor SAMI, who's running a 2-day open house, 5-day open house with 2 days left. I actually shared a link within the description if you want to sign up. Take advantage of everything T3 gives you for free. Really, take full advantage of them. Walk over, enter through their doors, have some cake, have some soda, have a slice of pizza, use the bathroom. Please flush. If you don't flush, nobody will know. And have a good day. How's that? Take advantage of things that are being offered to you for free. There is a link in the description for the top link in my description for his open house. You have 2 days left. It's free. Costs you time, which is your most valuable asset, but it doesn't cost you any money. Check it out. Okay. Boeing hits here on the yellow line. Boom. Bounces. Work. Boeing flushes the 21. I think I made money on this trade. Boom, pops literally $2 right off the lows, $1.80, excuse me, right off the lows here. To me, that works. Maybe for you it doesn't. Xilinx comes in, hits that 8 for the first time, that yellow line for the first time, goes to 90.20, drops to 89.62, drops almost 60 cents, 58 cents. Boom. People were making money on that. The 21 moving average shoots through 89.25. It's 89.43, plummets to 88.96. McDonald's, this one didn't count because you hit the 8 and 21 on the first 5-minute candle. And as you remember, if you read the second line there, on both strategies, obviously, make sure the first 5-minute bar does not test or touch an 8 or 21 EMA. And this one did, so we ignored McDonald's. And I crossed off MasterCard on the list because this one did it as well, and I just didn't want to look at it anymore because at this point there was no need for me to try to catch a longer short. I literally just gave up on the name in the first 5 minutes. I was like, bye, done, next, and I moved on. NSC, Norfolk Southern, comes down for the first time. So we're looking for the first time they hit these yellow and blue lines. Hits it right over here, bounces, trade done. Blue line, flushes through, pops, and then comes back down. Traders were actually caught a scalp on this. And I'm going to teach you why they make money on trades like this. Because at first glance, it looks like it failed. And maybe for some people it did. I'm going to show you how they make money on this one. But I just thought I would very unbiasedly show you every single earnings name I was watching today, every single earnings name that was on my radar today. And I thought I would show you that with absolutely zero bias. So that's how our strategies fared today. Obviously, as you can see, I made money. I did very well today again. Okay. All right. So how I enter, and this is a very important part. So this goes to the strategies yesterday. How I enter in limit orders to be truly consistent, and I like to wait for what I like to call the screw you move. And the screw you move, unfortunately, I mean, you don't need to leave any money on the dresser. Quite the opposite. You're taking the money off the dresser, putting in your pocket, and walking out. It's actually very helpful. So what I like to do on I'm watching Facebook. I should pull up an earnings name, Apple. Okay. What I like to do is I like to a lot of times get a sort of a read on the candlestick before. So what happens is, like for example, you see Apple coming to the exponential 8 here. The prior candle was $2 long. So what I'm thinking is not that the next candle has to be exactly $2 long, but if it flushes through, for example, the distance between the exponential 8 and the high of the candle. So this is what I'm doing. You look at the prior candle, you have this information before the yellow bar hits. You see that it's $2 long. It's exactly $1.95 long, just so we're clear. So it's $1.95 long. This candle opens up here at the top and starts going towards the level. You could literally subtract $1.95. It would give you 321.45. 321.45. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that 50 to 75% of that range comes through. So in English, when it actually hit the yellow bar over here, and I'll try to explain it as best as I can, it only went down 97 cents. So that wasn't that bad. I always like to put in a bid below. I always like to put in a bid below this yellow line. So let me show you what was happening here. This was actually a unique situation in Apple because we called the bottom of the market. There's another way we are calling the bottom and tops of these names. We're using pivot points because they've been very effective. Now you might say, well, what's important about a pivot point? Did you call the dead bottom of the Qs today in real time, like we did? And if you put in the pivot point, we basically said 220.82 or 220.83. The reason why we gave that penny differential is because it was fractional here. The pivot point is 220.823, so whether you want to round it up or down. So we said 220.82 to 220.83 will bottom out the Qs. Day low of the triple Qs, 220.83. So what we did at that point was, it was right over here, the bottom of Apple. We said that the bottom of the Qs are in, and that's when Apple bounced, just went straight up afterwards. So we were actually buying at the dead bottom of Apple. The trick, the trick is to throw in limit orders underneath the best bid after this yellow line hits. So I'll give you an example. And if you're using common stock, that's fine too. So for example, 322.39 is here. It's still early in the day. There's still volatility in the market. You might think that 322 is breaking. You could put in an arbitrary bid at 321.80 or 321.90. When it comes to options, though, it's a little more cute. What you like to do here is, let's say Apple options were $2 by $2.05, and I'm going to just remove the pivot points. Let's say the options were $2 by $2.05 in Apple as this yellow line hit right here. Generally, I like to throw in a bid at like $1.85, $1.80. Now, what I like to do is I'll generally go 5 to 10% lower than the best bid if it's before 11 o'clock a.m. Why? Well, before 11 o'clock a.m., I like to go a little lower on the option bid. Like let's say I want to buy Apple calls because I see the yellow line hitting and the bid is $2 a contract by 205. It's literally I treat it the same way as trading stock. So don't think there's anything complex. I could care less what option strike you take as long as you're not psychotic about it. Don't take $400 calls. As long as you take a call that is $5 up or down from the price, you're fine on Apple, right? To me, it doesn't really matter much. I don't consider myself an options expert despite the money I've made trading options. But with that being said, let's say it was $2 to 205, the calls on Apple as this yellow line hits. What I'll generally do is I'll put in a bid at $1.80 to $1.90, like 5 to 10% lower of the option value, not the stock value, the option value, because I think because of the time of day that it's going to flush. Earlier in the day, between 9:30 and 11, you're going to have the most volume, so I'm expecting deeper flushes through it as a generalization. Okay, so that is what I call the screw you move right here. This is what I call the screw you move. And it's how I buy below the yellow line. So when you see me using a moving average, you're like, Mark, look, it broke there. That's exactly what I'm looking for just about every time. The majority of the trades I miss are the ones that hit the yellow line to the penny and bounce. Those are the ones I usually miss. I don't want to be right to the penny. I want the screw you move to come in, which hits your support level, flushes through, and then comes back up. That is, to me, by far the easiest way to make money as a trader right now. Like, to me, it's second to none, and I'll guarantee you that this strategy won't be as effective in the future. I will guarantee you. Let's talk about Tesla. So what I'm going to do on this agenda is I'm going to get to the top one, like right before the algo levels, and this is the most important part of the lesson. So again, you miss it, you miss it. I'm not here to pitch you. I'm not here to tell you to join my service, and that's why I'm going to show you something. And a lot of people get offended at that. You shouldn't. Yes, you should join my service if you want. Guess what? Don't. And I'm fine with that. But make sure you learn and become a better trader. Okay? I think we share commonalities with that, right? Let's talk about Tesla earnings. All right, so Tesla has a massive ramp up. The stock hit 659.95 after hours and now is digesting just under $650. I know. Oh my goodness, Tesla just keeps going up, right? All right. They announced $2.14 a share. That beats the $1.72 expected. They announced 7.38 billion in revenues. That was ahead of Wall Street's expectation of 7.02 billion expected. Vehicle deliveries exceeding 500,000 units in Shanghai. Wow, that is amazing. They see positive quarterly free cash flow going forward. Hurry the expletive up, Elon Musk. You've been saying that since the company's existence, but I'm actually starting to believe you this time. They have energy generation storage revenue of 436 million. They increased cash and cash equivalents to 6.3 billion. That's really important on Tesla because you really want to see them have money, considering one of the most bearish thing that all these analysts say about Tesla is that they keep borrowing money. Okay, so that's a really positive thing. They see themselves reaching industry leading operating margin. All right. I disagree with that statement. Tesla CEO says he's really excited about the potential for the Shanghai factory. You're damn right you should be. Says selling it to 4.5 times for every 4.5 people, for every 9 people in China, there's 2 in the U.S. Better be excited. He says they broke ground on Model Y production in China, as well as some windows on the truck. Says demand for the Cybertruck has been incredible. We'll sell as many as we make for years. That sounds cool. The CFO says 2020 will have the strongest financial performance yet. I agree with that. Tesla CEO says spending money efficiently. There is no cap on investment. Okay, Elon. I have to, it's either, Prozac, marijuana, or what is that other drug with an A? Anyway, um, CEO says they're going to be focusing on growing battery production. I'll tell you right now, Tesla's earnings are phenomenal. Okay? They are phenomenal. It's hard to say how much of this is baked in. I will tell you there is a little bit of algo resistance right above 650. I could probably start, hunting for lower conviction resistance lines here, but I'll tell you right now, I mean, sky's the limit. This company crushed it, and they are being treated fairly with this gap up, in my opinion. Next on the list, Microsoft reported tonight, still fighting, trying to be the most valuable company on the planet. Obviously fighting with Apple for that title. Let's go over Microsoft earnings. $1.51 beats the $1.32 expected. Good. 36.91 billion ahead of the 35.67 billion expected. So they beat on revenue by almost $1.25 billion. That's pretty good. I want to see your cloud revenue. To me, that is such an important factor in Microsoft. Their cloud revenue was up 27% to $11.9 billion dollars. They said their personal computing revenue is up 2%. They say Q2 results were driven by strength of commercial cloud. That's exactly right. That's exactly the strong part that I wanted to see. They said they're going to spend more on capital expenditures. Microsoft says Azure gross margins are trending where they thought they would. To me, everything looks absolutely amazing in Microsoft's earnings. Absolutely amazing. The stock is going to be opening up, short of something miraculous happening tomorrow at all-time highs over 175 bucks. This is just absolutely amazing for the company. All right, so next on the agenda, I want to share Newsbeat earnings analysis. There are a lot of people who reach out to me and are basically telling me, Mark, this is paying for everything that I'm doing and more, and I cannot underestimate the value of what this is bringing. Newsbeat Live members get this. They get it. I'm showing you ahead of time. I'm already showing you the names we played. I happen to have a position in every single one of these 9 names that didn't report yet. Well, some of them reported tonight, like obviously LRCX, some others Corvo. We took LRCX and Corvo long just to show you the top two. A lot of them didn't report yet. Just to show you the type of stuff we're bringing. LRCX is up to 316.95. It's up $18 after hours right now as we speak, $18.73. We also gave you guys Corvo. That's up $11.03. And if you want to know, I was explaining something before to you, which is such an important thing of trading that nobody talks about. It's not about the money you make, it's about conviction and confidence. If you don't have conviction and confidence, you're never going to grow as a trader ever. You might say, okay, well, I know that, but how do I get it? It's not like I could flip a switch on you. It's not like you have a little button where it's like increase confidence boosters, engage. It's not like a Power Ranger, It's eh, confidence is derived from seeing consistency. When I'm showing you consistent ideas, it's not even about where you start. If you start off real light and then you go heavier. I mean, obviously we're trading names like Apple, AMD, General Electric, Boeing, McDonald's. I mean, you pretty much have like infinite scalability when you start targeting at least names like that. But the point I'm making is if you're in the 4357 paradigm, so many traders come to me and they're like, Mark, when should I size up? And I'm like, if you're asking me that, you probably shouldn't. Sizing up is a very natural progression. People don't talk about that. People think like they have to say, well, if I make money for this month, I'm going to size up next month. If I make money that month, I'm going to size up next month. It doesn't work like that because if you are even making money month by month, let me explain to you what happens. Let's say you're batting 50%, which is very unfortunately slightly above average when it comes to market participants. If you're able to actually make money 50% of the time, what happens is, let's say you made $10,000 in a month and you're having for you a good month and you're very happy with the numbers and good for you. Then you're like, next month I'm going to, increase my size by 10%, 25, 50, 100%, whatever your number is, right? And then what happens is you size up, but for that week, you start losing money and you start seeing the gains from the prior month. disappear because you decided to size up. One of the most common things that happen with traders when they size up is they take initial losses because they weren't ready for the psychological toxicity that comes by seeing their position move. It's very different when you have 100 shares of common stock and you see a stock going up or down 50 cents, and it's much different when you have 1,000 shares of stock of that same stock and you see your position going up or down 50 cents. So when I tell you that you should be up money relatively early in the position, almost right away, within immediately to a few minutes, perhaps, I'm telling you that so you don't suffer psychological toxicity. You see, everybody on Wall Street likes to show you where the A to Z is in the market. Everybody likes to show you, here's point A, you buy here, here's point Z, you're up money, that's it. But they don't talk about the journey in between. Sometimes it's too hard to be part of that journey in between. Nobody talks about it because everybody is within that 43.57 paradigm. And if they talk about that journey, they're pretty much saying you need to be comfortable with watching your P&L go up and down thousands of dollars. Oh no, I can hide my P&L. I don't like looking at it. Give me an expletive break, okay? All right? Stop pretending. I have never known a top trader who hides their P&L, okay? Okay? Look, I understand that people can hide it, but you want to hide from the truth? Whatever makes you sleep better at night. You want to close your eyes and pretend the world is full of unicorns and fairies and sparkling dust? Yeah, you do that. Let me know how that works for you. But for us other humans out there who trade, you don't want to see a position ripping against you. So when I'm showing you this consistent strategy, it's not only great because it's working, depending on who you are, 85 to 90% of the time to me is pretty much where the base of this strategy works for. I'm sure there are people 70, 75, 80, and I'm sure there's others at 100. But the whole point of it is when you enter these strategies, you're up money right away. You're building confidence. You're chipping away the prior psychological toxicity. And when you're ready to ramp up, you're actually going to do it very naturally because you're going to look at a situation and you're going to say, I'm right 80% of the time. I'm right 85% of the time when I buy it here. Yeah, I'll take a little more contracts this time. And it's going to be so natural. You want to know when traders size up? Can anyone guess right now? I'll give you 10 seconds. Type in what, and I'll give you 10 seconds till I say it. When I finish talking right now, what is the most common time for traders to size up? Anyone in the Newsbeat Live Room? I'll give you even 20 seconds. Not when you're up money, Judy. Exactly, David. Exactly. You start sizing, well, you're supposed to size up with confidence, Shiva. You're supposed to do that, Judy. But people do it when they're down money. You lose on your first trade. You want to know what I have found common with people who blow out their accounts? Their first trade of the day lost money. And then they'll lose on a trade later in the day that will blow them up because it causes that toxicity. People like to size up because they need to make back the money that they lost on the day. I took 500 shares here and lost money. I'm going to do 1,000, 1,500 here to make it back. When you obviously should be sizing up is when you're consistently making money, but that is not the case. I know I used to do that. How's that? I don't do it anymore. I used to do that. That was me. And it's not only me, it's most likely you have done it as well at one point or more often than that in your life. So when I'm showing you this strategy, I'm actually not just showing you something that works consistently, I'm actually giving you a way of life. I'm giving you a way to chip away your toxicity, raise your confidence, build back your account, raise your conviction behind ideas, and ultimately make more money. Consistency is everything. You want to know how many traders inside our room are raising their dollar amounts on everything they're doing, on all our trades? Dollar amounts meaning how many dollars they're throwing at the trade, either through options or common stock. They're making more money, obviously, but they're raising their money. There's traders in the room. If you took all our earnings trades since the beginning of the quarter, you are up $28,291.43. if you followed everything here with these bets. And that does not include the LRCX and Corvo that we just called long tonight. That does not include that. Newsbeat Live members get free access to this list. And they're traders who did very well last season with us. They're traders who did very well last season with us, $144,801 last season by following everything in our list. So those traders, they started sizing up this season and they're making even more. But the only way you're ever going to size up in anything is if you are batting very high. If you are batting very high. And that is the whole point of what I am showing you. It's not about the money you're making. You might think it is. But I am actually teaching you how to be as stress-free as possible, as consistent as possible, to take a strong earnings name and buy it on a pullback. I mean, you have a powerful earnings name. Do you want to buy it or short it? Most of you, all right, I want to buy it. Do you want to buy it as it's going up, or do you want to buy it at a lower price? Most of you will say, all right, I want to buy it at a lower price. Do you want to make money 80% of the time, 90% of the time? Do you want to or do you want to make 80 to 90% of the time, or do you want to make money 40 to 55% of the time? And you'll be like, okay, 80 to 90% of the time. You can answer all those questions, and you could look at me like yeah, Mark, duh, like any idiot can answer that. Really? Any idiot can answer that? Let me ask you a question. Any idiot can answer that. Why aren't you doing that right now? Why aren't all your trades based on that then? Since you know what's best for you, since you could agree with me what's best for you, why aren't you, in a long example, why aren't you taking a strong name, buying it on a pullback, and buying it on a level that's very statistically viable for success? Why aren't you doing all those three things? Answer me. If you obviously know what's best, as opposed to just jumping here, doing 20 different strategies, making your head spin. You want to know what sucks about the 4357 paradigm? You're right enough where you think that you're close to getting the strategy to working, and you're wrong enough where you're not wrong enough where you say this strategy doesn't work and I move on. So you get stuck, and your brain keeps trying to fight it. You don't know why your P&L just goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and you don't get it. For me, I don't think your P&L should be going vertical up like this. I think it should be smooth equity curve like this. That's what your P&L should look like over days and months. I can show you how to do it. Are you ready to learn how to set up your TC2000 like a professional for success? Are you guys ready for that right now? You guys ready? Newsbeat Live Room? All right. All right. Let's share it with you. All right. You know what? I'll show you on this chart right over here. I'll show you right over here. Okay, so this is how I have my TC2000 set up. But as I promised you, we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing you do is you hit a new tab on the bottom, right? And you have what's called starter layouts here. I want you to choose the 3x3 layout right here. So again, I'm showing you every step. Go back, start this video again to learn. You open up your TC2000. There's a little thing on bottom that says New Layout tab. You click it. You go down, you hit the 9x9 charts. You get this that pops up. And granted, I know my head is blocking one and whatever, I'll move aside. Just hit chart, candlestick, chart, candlestick. Go on every single one and hit chart candlestick. Easy, right? And once you just go through every one and hit chart candlestick, you have something that looks like this. And everybody likes a certain setup or whatever, but I'm going to show you, and for whatever reason, it comes up as Wheaton Precious Metals, bias in the company. You have to right click and now do every single chart. So what you do right here is to um, I like to leave my color on default, which is net chain. Actually, color is based on open versus close, and the fill is based on open versus close, and I like both bars filled. So like you see, the red and green bars so they won't be hollow. I like them both filled. I like it vibrant. It's more colorful. And you basically have to do that with every single chart. Newsbeat Live members, by the way, they're going to get a link. I'm going to give you a link where you could just literally download my entire layout and you won't have to do any of this. So I do it for you guys out there to teach you. So please respect what I'm doing. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content, all right? I can make my life easy. And by the way, if you're a Newsbeat Live member, I'm showing it to you, but you are going to get access to where you don't need to do any of what I'm showing you. But for the people out there who maybe you can't afford to be in my room right now, maybe you can, maybe a job is preventing you, maybe you want to make money trading and you spend too much on prior education and your wife will slit your throat if you sign up for any other service. It's possible. It is possible. Well, whoops. I did one color there. Open versus close. There we go. So you're basically right clicking and hitting edit chart properties and you're just changing this to open versus close and you're just making sure that both sides are filled, right? So that's what you're doing and I'll just move my mug over there. It's tedious, but you know what? You're going to save it. And you're just literally doing the same thing. So everything you do on one chart, you have to basically multiply times 9. That's what it is. Do I enjoy doing this? I consider smashing my face against the concrete more pleasurable to what I am doing with you now. Um, I do have concrete outside my house, by the way, so don't think like Melnick doesn't have concrete, so he's showing us his charts. I do happen to have concrete, okay? Um, so what I'm going to show you is the parameters I add. If you hit Control 1, it comes from the daily to 1 minute chart. So I start every one of my charts on the day like this, all on the 1 minute time frame here. And then as the day goes on, I switch them over. But so what I do now is there's a little green arrow here. You can't see it, but it's like right over there. You see it on all of them. So I'm just hitting that little green plus sign. It's not an arrow, it's a plus sign. I'm just literally going into the moving averages here. And so exponential 8 moving average. You just literally hit that every single time. Exponential 8 moving average, left click, plus exponential 8 moving average, left click. Don't underestimate what I am doing for you, ladies and gentlemen. That will be one of the biggest mistakes that you make if you want to do this strategy as effectively as possible. Do not underestimate the tediousness that I am subjecting myself through and taking you along for the journey with. I am doing this to ensure your success. I'm not going to be alive forever, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be able to help you as best as I can. All right, so here's the ADMA. Okay, here's the ADMA. Now I'm just going to do the same thing. We're just going to go down to moving average exponential here. We're just going to add moving average exponential. And every time we do it, we left click, edit, 21, blue. I like blue. Again, use your colors, but make sure they're different colors between the 8 and 21. I use blue. You can use whatever. Some people are colorblind to certain colors. Like, you know, there's some people who can't see the color blue, which happens to be Mark Melnick's favorite color. The more you know. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding exponential moving averages. I'm changing the period to 21, and I'm changing it to blue. And granted, there's probably going to be more things that you eventually want to add. There's going to be eventually more things that you actually want to add to your chart, other Fibonacci's if you use them. I don't, but again, anything that you find valuable that you want to use on your chart, you will be able to add. And you might have to watch this video again, be like, what is this, Mark? And if you're a Newsbeat Live member, because of the way I could post to you, you will get, I'll give you this layout for free. But if you're watching on the internet, you're gonna have to go through the gauntlet. But don't worry, I'll spearhead the whole thing. I'll be in front. I'll be in front taking spears to the face for you, okay? All right, so all I'm doing is the same thing 9 times. I can do it 9 times. If you know where that's from, put it in the comment section. Brownie points for you. I can do it 9 times. If you know where that's from, that's just amazing. Okay, so what I have now is you see the things. I have the 1 minute chart, I have the exponential 8 and the 21, and I have them on all the names. I know my face is in the way. Don't worry that my face is here. It's the same chart on the bottom right. What I want you to do now is File, Save As, just say Newsbeat 9x9, let's say. So you go ahead, you save it, and this information will be for you every time, so you don't have to do this every morning. Now I have a list of, how is that? Right there. These are the earnings name I'm watching this morning, the Apple, AMD, GE, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I just simply start off, I'm like Apple, oops, notice how they're all linked. So if you change one, they all change. So there's actually something else I have to do now. I have to actually unlink all these charts. So every one of them, there's a little S here. I'll show you where it is. So you see this little S right here, this little blue S. You have to actually click not linked, so none of your charts will link together. You have to do that 9 times for every single one of them. So I'm just going ahead and I'm just left click, left click, left click, left click. So that way when I change one chart, none of the others change, right? And again, you can pull it up and down here. What you'll notice is there's these two little triangles here. You see on the bottom right there, and it allows you to like move it forward or back. You could tweak that to your own pleasure. So I'm just simply putting in Apple, AMD. These are the names that I showed you on the list. GE, so I have Apple, AMD, GE. Right over here, we'll put Boeing. We'll put Xilinx. We'll put McDonald's, Food, Folks, and Fun. We'll put MasterCard. Put NSC. And maybe we'll just leave up the triple Qs or spiders on the bottom there if you'd like. So I'm going to remove my face for a second. That's going to make it easier to digest your food. You're welcome. Um, and this is what you're basically left with. So what I want to do now is you could literally like tab down and hit the 5 minute here. Notice how it shows you the hotkey Control 3. I'm going to use the hotkey and just change it all to the 5 minute right now. We're going to assume that you're starting off on the 5 minute. So every single chart here is on the 5 minute and has the moving averages. So when the day starts, I know it's showing like after hour information. You actually don't have to show after hour information. You could actually go pre-post data and just hit never. That's what I like to do with these. So edit chart properties, never. And it saves where you were on the tab every time, so you don't have to even click over. Right click, left click, left click, left click. Right click, left click, left click, left click, right click, edit chart properties, never, okay. Right click, edit chart properties, never, okay. And this is how I set it up. Again, if for whatever reason, Mark, but I want that information, all right, do it. I'm showing you how I do it. And you could tweak it however you want. Then what you do is like you'll see there's a little bar. You'll obviously not going to see all the 5 minute bars for the day. You'll see, the ones earlier on, and you're just basically waiting to see it like come up. And now I'm going to show you how I interact with my software. I'm going to give you the next level play, ladies and gentlemen. I will give you next level play. All right. All right. Your MasterCard was a little sloppy. NSC was fine. And then the spiders. All right. So let me log in my live trading account for a moment. Just please hold. And I'm going to show you what happens. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you basically how I go in between my software and the charts to quickly do these trades and why it works so effectively for me. So just keep in mind in the morning, obviously, you're not going to see like all these 5-minute charts. You're not going to see like a bunch of 5-minute charts. But I will ask one thing. Again, share this video. Let as many people learn the right ways to track a lot of stocks. I know there's some people who can have 752 monitors and they're like, they have like they're looking straight and there's like this huge wall of monitors. There's monitors on top of them, to the left of them, to the right of them. I've never met a truly wealthy trader that did that. It's the truth. I've never. I mean, meet all the hedge fund managers and whatever, and they're dealing with like the most I've seen was like 6 large screens in front of each other. Most of them use 3 and some use 4. I use 4. So don't get caught up in that you need to have, a 768 monitor setup, all HD, all interconnected with 7 different computers. You basically need a good gaming machine with 2 video cards, in my opinion, so you could run 4 monitors. That's what you need. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you just some things here. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll tear down. System's a little laggy. Just crashed. Um, for whatever reason, my software crashed. Maybe because I was dragging it too much. Just give me one moment. I'm just gonna log back in. And this is very important. You don't want to miss what I am about to show you. You want to know how Mark is making money approximately every single day. You want to know how? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how I do it on this strategy. I'm not boasting. Making money is easy if you choose it to be. You want to make it complex? You want to learn everybody's million ways to read the market and how they apply it in all these different situations? That's you. Be my guest. I've been doing this job going on my 21st year. I've been doing this 21 years, and I will tell you that the majority of people cannot remember and execute in a real-time basis even 5 different strategies, let alone dozens. And while I find that I'm able to do it, I find that I do something simple like this much more effectively. I make more money. I have less stress. I have a higher hit rate. It's easier when you know the trades are going to come to you and you don't have to go out there, search and hunt for them. So what I'm actually doing through this process is I'm literally showing you how this works for you and how you could do it. Street Smart Edge is just, again, taking a little bit longer to log in. Whatever you do, don't be crazy enough to log off and miss what I'm about to show you. And if you do, that's on you. Again, I'm not pitching you, but you have to be insane to not want to see what I'm about to show you. I wish somebody showed me this when I first started. I wish. I didn't have anything like this. I was a noob. All right. Okay, hold on. Can you guys see? All right. Okay. Just tear it down. All right. So, for example, let's say you see AMD right over here. You see it pulling down to the yellow line right here. So what I do on my Schwab, and by the way, this layout is offered to Newsbeat Live members. It's through Charles Schwab. And if you have an account at Schwab, if you open up an account at Schwab and you like this layout I have, T3 is awesome enough to offer it to Newsbeat Live members for free. So for example, let's say you see AMD coming down to the yellow line and you want to buy it there early because you see it happening imminently. You literally just AMD, I hit enter automatically. If I want to buy common stock, it's right over here. If I want to buy options, it's right over here. I have it set on limit. Let's say I see it coming down to the yellow line right there. I can already just throw out a limit order immediately and just click buy to open on the calls. It's that simple. Granted, the call strike is on the 47.5 because AMD fell later in the day, but it'll actually bring you to the first out of the money contract with whatever preset expiration you have. So I have my expiration set on the preset one. If you want to do common stock, you're pretty much right over here. And again, you get $0 trades at Schwab, so it's very scalpable. And using this system, you would actually see AMD coming here right before it bounced 21 cents. You might be sitting there, how much can you make with 21 cents? Well, if you had a few 100,000 in buying power, if you had 100,000 in buying power and you could do a quick scalp, you could take your 2,000, 3,000 shares. You could watch it pop 20 cents. Maybe you caught 10 of it and you made your quick 2, 3, 400 bucks. And then you just simply wait for the next one to go. And then you see Xilinx, for example, coming in right here up towards the exponential 8. You see it going up. So you already prepare yourself for it. You hit XL and X. You automatically have the calls up in one box, the put box in the other one, and the shares in the other one. You could go ahead and short if you need. You could go ahead and you could do all these things. It's very, very user friendly. Very, very simple. So that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. Judy is like, I have a trader friend, so smart, million screens, makes no money. I almost feel like, I almost feel like I'm a broadcaster. I have 4 screens. I could probably use a fifth. My screens are being used. I'm using this to shoot video. I have a webcam mounted on in between my monitors. I actually had a video where I actually took a picture of my layout, but I'll tell you right now, it's fine. I think it's just more of like trader swag. It's like the trader. You ever see the traders and they take pictures and they have like they show pictures of like stacks of $100 bills on a bed, like in a hotel room. Like I went to this hotel room and I brought $50,000 in cash with me. And I'm like, bro, do you know if you use your credit card, you get like points for it? What are you doing with 50,000 in cash, bro? Like, tell me where your hotel room is. Like, I'm gonna send somebody over to rob you. Like, they do that, or they show themselves in like a Ferrari, and it's like, bro, what part of the planet are you from where you can drive a Ferrari and like try driving that Ferrari in like New Jersey or New York City, and you're gonna hit a pothole, and you're gonna have, you know, a $13,000, bill to fix your car. Um, you don't need swag, all right? You just need tons of simplicity like this. Like they show themselves in a Ferrari looking at you, and it's like you're sitting there thinking like you asked somebody to take a picture of you while you were doing it. They always do the picture like, "Oh, you guys must have caught me while I'm inside my Ferrari." Like, "Oh, is that you guys? Hey, what's up, yo, West Side?" Like, it's like you just caught me like out of the moment, like while I was driving my Ferrari, and it's like, no, no, you have your girlfriend or boyfriend there sitting there with the camera. All right, drive it back again and then pull forward. Okay, should I drive like this? Like looking out the window? Should I do like one of those things where I drive by and I'm like this? Like this? Like people do that. And it's like, yeah, that's the trader I want to learn from. He has so much money, it cost him all his brain cells. That's the trader I want to learn from. The trader that has lost every single brain cell. He made so much money that his IQ dropped to zero. He's the only human being on the planet who can function with a fully zero IQ. And it's like, okay, all right. Oh, or the best one is they rent a private flight. They pay a lot of money for a private flight, and then they take a bunch of pictures on the private flight with like champagne. And it's like, bro, you just swiped your credit card and paid, you know, $8,000 for this private flight with a few other people. And now you're on there and you're trying to pretend like it's your jet. Okay, Puff Daddy, that's not your airplane. That's not your airplane. You are you are showing off trader swag. So, What I'm trying to show you, again, just going back to this, what I'm trying to show you is that you don't need a lot. TC2000 is relatively inexpensive. You don't need a lot of money to use this software. The real-time data is not free. I highly recommend it because it allows you to watch everything. And what I do is instead of sitting there always looking for opportunities, like where's the next this, where's the next this, where's the next this, you know what I'm literally doing? I'm like this. I mean, my arms aren't up because I'm not driving my Ferrari and having people take pictures of me, but I'm literally just chilling, just very relaxing. Okay, looking at what you see in front of your face right now, saying, all right, this is about to hit the exponential 8. If it does, I'll buy it. And honestly, trading has been very boring for me in the past week and a half. I'll admit it. It's been so boring, but I'm making money every day. If I want excitement, I'll take a private flight. I'll rent a Ferrari and then pretend, that I bought it in full. I'll go to a hotel room, withdraw some money out of my bank account, dump it on the bed, take some pictures, and then go directly back to the bank and deposit it. That if I want to have fun, that's what I'll do. Trading is not supposed to be exciting. You're not supposed to be like, yeah, or those pictures and they show the traders like in front of their screen, they're like, and they do the picture where they're like this or like their arms up like this, and you just see like the back of their heads, and it's almost like this, and you see them with like their arms up like in the back of their heads. What planet are you from? Okay? That's not how trading is supposed to be like. That's what they want you to think it is because it's supposed to be fun. And if you try that, the exact opposite is going to happen. You're going to be so depressed from losing money. You're going to struggle to get out of bed. You're going to have suicidal thoughts potentially. You're going to have depression thoughts potentially. You're going to be cruel and meaner and worse of a human being to your loved ones, your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, pets, neighbors, family. You're not going to be as nice of a human being as you once were. And all this because you got sucked into some illogical fantasy. Algo levels? Sure, why not? Here. My final thoughts on this video is consistency is really everything. Consistency really is, to me, everything. Everything. Here's an email that I got 4 hours ago at 4:19 p.m. I already sent it over to T3. Mark, I took an initial 500 per share in LRCX before earning, added another 500. After hours, sold my stock, had a gain over $10,000 on LRCX. Can you believe that? Can you believe that on LRCX? It was one of our earnings plays. And again, even if it's the trading I just showed you, even if it's this, look at our hit rate. Look at our hit rate. So right now we gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 names. 14 names, we're batting 10 out of 14 so far. And if you follow everything that we're showing you, you could be up utilizing this strategy $28,291. And that does not include the fact that we're going home with LRCX long, which is up massively right now, and Corvo long, which is also up massively right now. Consistency is the key to building your future. I want to make that a reality. I will continue to fight for you every single day that I know how. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. Slap the like button if you liked it. There's a link in the description if you are interested in our services. The top link is for a free open house. 2 days left for SAMI's open house. Check it out. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't, but you know what? You'll never know, and it's absolutely free. So give it a shot. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. Looking forward to making money with you tomorrow. Happy trading, make money. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I have to drive by. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.